It all started when I pulled up to my apartment building. My phone rang in my pocket, and I took it out to see who it was. It was an unknown number. Not answering, I put my phone back in my pocket as I made my way up to the 4th floor, where my mediocre apartment waited for me. I placed my phone in the kitchen and went into the living room to start watching TV. But immediately after I turned it on, an alarm sound blared from the kitchen. It was so loud that I had to cover my ears when I approached what was making the noise. My phone. Someone was trying to call me again. But why was the ringtone so damn loud? I tried waiting for the ringing to stop, but it wouldn't. And seeing no other option, I answered the phone. Immediately, I heard laughing coming from the other end. It sounded maniacal, almost like a freaky circus clown. And the laughing didn't stop until I hung up. It was definitely a weird experience, but not too bad. Until the phone started ringing again, with the blaring alarm sound banging my eardrums. I answered, reluctantly, and heard something on the other end. Not laughter, but crunching sounds. Almost like someone was eating bones. "Hello?" I said, but the only response was the crunching sounds. "Who the hell is this?" The sounds continued, and I hung up. I tried walking out of the room, but my phone started ringing for a 3rd time. This time, a woman was crying on the other end. "If you don't stop calling me, I'll call the cops." I hung up, but the phone started ringing again. Angry now, I slammed my phone against the wall, making a big crack on the device. But that only made the ringing sound louder. "Shut up!" I screamed. I picked up the phone, opened the window in my kitchen, and let my phone drop 4 stories before hitting the ground. But the farther away it got, the louder the ringing became. I thought my ears were going to burst, and I yelled out in anger and pain. What the hell was happening to me? The ringing continued as I made my way down the stairs of my apartment building and outside to where the phone had fell. The ringing was a little quieter now, but still loud as hell. I picked up the phone, answered the call and said, "Who the hell is this? Tell me now!"
Daddy?
The voice from the other end made my heart sink in my chest. Lucy? I couldn't believe it. It was my daughter, Lucy. How are you?
You were bad, Daddy.
Lucy said.
You hurt me bad.
Tears formed in my eyes as I remembered. I was driving Lucy to school. It had snowed the previous night and the roads were slippery. It wasn't my fault that I had to pick up the phone when my boss was calling. But it was my fault for not paying attention to the road. My fault for crashing into that pickup truck. My fault for killing Lucy in the crash. I started crying in front of my apartment building as Lucy continued.
You hurt me. Now I hurt you.
The ringing started again, loud and unbearable. No matter how hard I tried to cover my ears, the ringing still continued.
This is your punishment, Daddy.
My heart completely stopped when I suddenly realised the truth. Lucy wasn't the only victim in that car crash. The clown laughter was from Dodo, the clown from the circus that Lucy was always scared of. The crunching sound was mine and Lucy's bones breaking in the crash. The crying was Katrina, my wife, at the funeral. The ringing, that was because of what caused the crash in the first place. I couldn't believe it. My own daughter, the one who always loved me, even when I screwed up sometimes, was punishing me for her death. I was in hell, damned for all eternity. This was my punishment. It's been almost a month, and the ringing hasn't stopped. And the other noises started to mix in with it as well. I don't know if this will get to the real world, but if it does, let me warn you. Pay attention to what you're doing, because you could end up in your own personal hell. Writing this, I keep looking at the kitchen. The knives, just sitting on the kitchen counter. I know that whatever was controlling this personal hell of mine knew what I was thinking. I'm debating it. I don't know if the sounds will stop if I do it. But there's only one way to find out.